Well, thank you to everyone for your time today. As most of you know, for more than 20 years, I've concentrated on helping my clients to identify lost dollars, understand the breakdowns that allowed those losses to occur, and prevent those future losses. Along the way, I've always kept my head up for other tools and opportunities that I thought might be valuable and help my clients be more efficient and effective. So over the years, I've recovered hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars related to the maintenance of assets and equipment. Whether it's equipment removed from service contracts or maintenance paid for something that's already covered by warranty or service contract, I've seen significant dollars lost in the area of asset management and maintenance. In fact, some examples, I recently recovered some dollars for some scope repairs that were done covered by a service contract. At another recent case where there was a very large credit and rebill for a maintenance contract. And of course, as you can imagine, the original invoice and the rebill got paid and the credit never got deducted. And so again, I've seen some tremendous loss in that area. Today, I am proud to introduce you to my friends John and Kevin at Bimser International and enlighten you with a demonstration of their BEAM platform. BEAM is a software platform for asset management and maintenance. An asset could be anything from an MRI machine to an elevator to a hotel room or a hospital room, or even the items like thermometers and all the little things that go into a particular room. The BEAM system manages periodic, preventative, predictive, and immediate maintenance by connecting the assets, the users, the contracts, the warranties, all under one platform. Again, BEAM also helps to manage maintenance contracts, warranties, and even succession plans, all while providing maintenance and oversight of your entire process. When I was introduced to BEAM, I immediately began to see how their platform could be an invaluable tool for my clients. And so I've partnered with Bimser so that I could learn more and produce events like these. Please listen with an open mind and consider how this platform could help benefit you or your clients' organizations. You will see a chat box on your screen. Please submit any questions you have, and at the end, we'll go back and have a Q&A session. Please feel free to reach out to me afterwards to talk at length about anything or to arrange a private demo or meeting in person. Again, thank you for your time today. Go ahead, Kevin, take it away.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you very much for the introductory speech. We truly appreciate it. Well, I am Kevin Devecioglu. I am the Managing Director of Bimser International. Before we talk about BEAM and BEAM maintenance management benefits, I'd like to talk about our company. Our company is Bimser International Corporation, and as a company, we believe in simplicity. All of our products are designed to simplify processes of companies to help them be more efficient and more profitable. And our vision is to be the leader in our market, which is global enterprise marketplace. As Bimser, we are a global company, so we have actually global presence. Our headquarters and development center is in Istanbul metro area. We also have a presence in Europe for our European sales operations. And as Bimser International, we are based in New York City. As a group, we are about 140 people working day and night to simplify the processes of companies. And Bimser is a certified SAP vendor, Microsoft Gold partner, and official Acumatica independent software vendor. So enterprise software development is our expertise, and we have been doing this since 1998. When we look at our product range, we have 4 products that we have been working on since 1998. IBA is for workflow and document management. QDMS is for integrated system management such as ISO, BRC, SQF compliance. Beam, that we'll talk more about today, is our asset and maintenance management software. Ensemble is our business process management tool for KPI management and balanced scorecard management. When we look at our products in a pyramid shape of our study here, Ensemble is more of a managerial tool with its performance management capabilities and balanced scorecard capabilities. EBA in document management and workflow, Beam in maintenance management, and QDMS in quality management and compliance. They are more on the process automation side. All of our products, they can work standalone, they can be integrated to each other, and they can be integrated to any ERP, any CRM platform that's available in the marketplace. Our products can work on cloud and they can work on-premise as well. So we have up-to-date technology, state-of-the-art technology available. When we also look at our projects, we have delivered more than 450 projects so far as for EBA globally. As for Beam, that we'll talk more about today, we have delivered more than 300 projects. As for QDMS, we have delivered more than 750 projects. And Ensemble, we have delivered more than 150 projects and still counting. When we also look at our customers, we have pretty good customers globally. 3M is one of our customers using EBA in 17 different countries. United Nations is one of our customers using our document management platform to track refugees. Bridgestone is using our products in various industries and various areas. And AstraZeneca is for pharmaceutical industry. They are using EBA as well. Societe Generale is a France-based bank that they are using also our product in their operations. ArcLight movie theaters, they are based in California. They are using EBA in their purchasing operations. Ford and Renault-Nissan Alliance also some of our customers that are actually currently available for us. In a sense, that's who we are and what we do, and these are the customers that we have. As Mitch mentioned earlier, during the presentation, if you have any questions, feel free to type it in chat box. We will address your questions at the end of our session in the Q&A. And now I'd like to turn it to our pre-sales software engineer, Itiar Gonzalez. She'll be talking about Beam and maintenance management operations and how we can use Beam in our operations available today. Itiar, thank you.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you all for joining this webinar. So what I'm going to do is share with you a couple of slides about Beam, and then I'm going to log into the demo environment and show you in real time how the product works. Okay, so let's start with the features that Beam has. So basically, Beam offers different modules. And as you can see on the slide, we have differentiated them between basic modules and then optional modules. So basically, whenever a company starts using Beam, our asset and maintenance management system, they're going to be getting the basic modules, which are the asset, the inventory, the maintenance, and the personnel management. And then optionally, they can take advantage of other modules like the purchasing management module, the energy management, service management, facility management. So basically, Beam is a product that is very easy to use, and all of these modules work together. So for example, if we're managing our assets, then we can go ahead and start doing maintenance management on those assets. And when we talk about maintenance, we cover 3 types of maintenance. It can be either corrective, periodic, predictive, preventive maintenance. And we can take care of an asset which has a problem, and then we have to fix it afterwards. We can also prevent future failures by having a schedule where we can plan all of our maintenance operations. And finally, we can take care of the maintenance in a predictive way. We can, for example, install sensors within machines and start retrieving all of that information to say, you know, I think next week it's going to fail. We need to maintain this asset before it breaks or something else happens. And this way we can minimize the downtime. Of course, we're going to be able to save money with this, because even though a maintenance management system might seem something expensive that we have to invest on, then in the long term it's always going to be better. I can share numbers about how our customers are using Beam and how they're obtaining benefits from using these products. So for example, they are able to reduce the failures on their machines, maybe like 20–25%, or they are able to reduce the maintenance costs too. So now I'm going to share with you, some of the features here on Beam. So to start with, it's a modular product, so it's flexible and scalable. You can buy the modules. So for example, if we are maintaining our assets, but we are also using Beam for the inventory management purposes, maybe we want to integrate Beam with the purchasing management module, and whenever we are running low on something, then we can create a purchase order directly from that notification that we receive. Or maybe we also want to use the facility management or the service management module within Beam and combine it with the basic functionality. And it also grows with the company, which means that today you might have only 10 users, taking advantage of the system, and tomorrow you can have 100, and we can also scale and grow with you as your company evolves. And one of the features of Beam that is really interesting is the workflow management underneath. One of our products that Kevin mentioned before is EBA. This is a workflow management system, and with it we can design our own workflows, which means that for every company we can have separate workflows. For example, for their purchasing operations, maybe someone can request a new purchase order, but then a manager or the CFO has to approve that purchase order before it goes through. So we can ask the companies for their workflows. We can design them with EBA and then link them in Beam. And that way, each company can use their own workflow. Then we also offer a reporting tool. For every single module we have, we can create reports from the information that we store. This is going to be real-time data, so we can either get information in the way of a report, or we can also use the dashboards that we provide so that we can take a look at KPIs in real time. And just like I was mentioning before, some feedback from our current clients are the reduced maintenance cost and the failure reduction. And I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to go ahead and log into a demo environment now so that you can see how the product works. I'm going to be logging in with an administrator user. We offer 3 types of users within Beam. So one of them is only going to be requesting maintenance. So whether you notice there is something wrong, or you just want someone to take a look at an asset, we can use that requester user to log into Beam, or we can be part of the maintenance team. So we will have more functionality accessible, or we can be the administrator, just like I'm right now, and I can take a look at the complete system. So right now you see one of the dashboards that we have created. So in this case, we can see the company list that I have access to, the work orders, whether they have been opened, closed, or canceled. We can take a look at the total cost, which is calculated based on the material, service, and labor cost. We can have, charts like this, tables, cards. We can even have websites or all of this information. We can rearrange it, and you can play around with all of these KPIs and maybe show different dashboards for different people. Okay, so clicking here on the top left, we access the main menu. Right now, they're only visible the basic modules, which are the asset, maintenance, material, personnel, and then the system settings. And I'm just going to go ahead and start with the asset management module so that you get an idea of how we can manage all of that. So I'm just going to click here, take a look at the assets, and you're going to see the complete list of assets right now. And all of these assets are going to be groups. So we can manage them by location, just like I'm going to be showing you with this asset tree. So maybe a company has operations in New York and New Jersey, right? We can have them separately here. We can manage both of them here, but then we can have managers and responsible persons for each company here, each operation. You can take a look at the level structure that we have. We have operations, cost centers, production, this is the department, and then finally we have the different machines or assets. So we can either be talking about machines per se, or we can be talking about trucks. This can be a hotel, this can be a building, it can be anything basically that's an asset to a company. So we can have as many levels as we want, and this way we are going to be able to group and track all of the assets. I'm going to show you all the information that we can store for one asset. In this case, I'm going to just choose this truck here. So these few first fields in bold, those are mandatory, and then the rest of the information that you see on the screen and the next tabs are always optional. So we always like to show the potential of the system and how much information we can store here. We can have the asset code, the description, the status of the asset, the type, the group, department, cost center operation, all of this is going to come up automatically. And then we can also create lines of assets. So if we have a few assets working on the same line, we can group them that way and say, you know, we are using these assets together as a group. Then other information that we can store here in the system, you know, warranty date, maintenance dates, this is going to be updated automatically. So I was testing the system before, and I recorded, you know, one maintenance operation for this truck this morning. Then we can always store information about the coordinates. We can have default values for whenever we create work orders or work requests. We can assign a team to work with this asset. And basically, we offer many different options. And this way, we can satisfy all of our current customers' needs this way. So just gonna close this one and show you a little bit more about what we can do with those assets and how we can manage them. So one feature that I particularly like about Beam, we can create these kinds of layouts. So right now, you know, just imagine this is the layout of a factory. We can place our assets here, and whenever I hover over them, you see the asset that's right here. You know, I think this one is one of the trucks. This one we can see, you know, that since it's green, everything is okay. Nothing, there is no problem. There is no maintenance operation going on, no breakdowns, nothing. And this way, it's a very visual way, you know, if there is something wrong with your system. So it's very useful for maybe the manager of the facility. Then I can show you also some of the configuration that we can do with the system. You know, we have to define the operations, the cost centers, departments, all of this information before we start using Beam. But it's very easy to use, and you'll see throughout the demo that everyone can start using Beam with very little training. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you how we could create maybe a work request. We offer two ways of creating a work request. This is going to be the fastest way of doing it. So we can say, you know, this is an emergency. I can select my asset here. And this is going to be the truck that we were talking about before. I could say, you know, there is something wrong with this asset. I could select it here. I can select the work type. Let's say I need a mechanic for this. And the code, I'm just going to select mechanic, but we can be as specific as we want. And then these checkboxes here mean, you know, the truck is still working, so I don't have to say, you know, it stopped and I'm in the middle of nowhere, or, you know, the production completely stopped. So I'm just gonna save this work request, and it's gonna go to a pool of work requests. Okay, so right now, me as a manager could also go back to this work request and approve it and assign it to someone else. So I'm just gonna open it again, review what happened. You know, this employee had a problem with the truck this morning. And I could just simply go ahead, you know, not going to lose too much time on going over everything we can do, but I'm just going to say, you know, my user, again, is going to be responsible for maintaining the truck. So Just like that, I can approve this maintenance operation. This work request is going to be converted into a work order, so I can now go back into the pool of work orders, see that new one that we just created. This is the first one, the webinar one. And I can go ahead and close it, which means it can be just me working on this. It can be, you know, I can have some colleagues too, and we can record what we do with the system. So maybe, you know, we can say it took us 1 hour to complete this. Do you want to update the work labor? Yes. So we can see it here too, you know, how much time we work. We can select the materials that we use. And with all of this information that we are entering in the system, I'm just gonna select, you know, I'm gonna select one of the filters. Let's say there was something wrong with a filter in the truck. So I can record this. And then, you know, once we save the work order, we'll be able to calculate the cost. So this is going to be based on the labor cost, the material cost, the service cost, and this is going to give us a total cost of the maintenance, basically. And then we can always create reports from that. So, for example, I'm going to begin to, let's just take a look at the asset maintenance history, for example, this first one. We can say, you know, from the beginning of the year, what operations happen with this truck. I'm going to select it here from the filters. I'm going to click on prepare. And just like that, I'm going to have a report within minutes about what kind of maintenance happened, you know, with this truck over this year. I can export it, save it in different formats. But the beauty of it is that I can schedule these maintenance operation, these reports, sorry. So, you know, if we want this report every Friday before we leave the office, we can schedule it this way and get it, you know, as an attachment to an email. And this way, we don't have to access this report every single time. We can just go ahead and take a look at our email and find it right there. And just not to lose too much time, you know, for demo purposes, we can go ahead and take a look at the material section. In this case, just like with the assets, we can take a look at all of our materials here, and we can also group them. So let me show you how that looks. We have one group here for truck parts, and you see that we have truck parts in 2 different warehouses. So what BIM allows us to do is request transfers between these warehouses. So, for example, if we don't have any belts here in this warehouse, we could simply transfer them here in the system, and we could link a workflow in particular for this. So we could have maybe, you know, someone request to transfer maybe 5 filters, and then someone else approves it, and then someone else receives all of those filters, and then you can actually tell the system that you receive them and everything is correct and the inventory levels will be updated. So that's something that we can also manage with BIM. We can calculate the material minimum and maximum levels of stock. Again, access reports, graphics, and all of these operations that we do, we're gonna have resources as personnel, you know, working with us on BIM. So we can manage all of our resources and manage their occupation calendar, which means we're going to know what our user does, you know, throughout the day, and we can go ahead and review what they did. So, for example, there is this one maintenance operation that I recorded before about that truck malfunctioning, and we can also take a look at the monthly schedule and even, you know, add more users at the same time and see what each person does. And finally, you know, just mention the system settings. Here is where we manage all of the authorizations. So BIM can only be accessed, you know, with credentials, username and password. And then depending on the type of user we have, either a requester, an administrator, or just a member of the maintenance team, we're going to be able to access different sections of the menu. So, for example, if I wanted to give my group of users permission to access maybe a different menu, like the purchasing management module, I could just go ahead and save it. One more module here. Okay. And I think this is it for the overview of the product. This is a product that hopefully you were able to see how you can manage all of your assets, your spare parts, your maintenance. And if you have this type of product in place, it's ultimately going to be saving you a lot of money, a lot of time, because you're going to be able to automate a lot of those work requests. You're going to be directly receiving them within the system, and you can just assign them. So everything is going to be recorded in the system, and you can go back and find patterns, what breaks more frequently, when should I maintain these assets, and then, we can incorporate all of those kind of maintenance operations into our company. So now we can go back and just have the Q&A session. So we'll be taking a look at all of your questions in the chat box, and we'll be answering them.
Thank you, Itia. We have a couple of questions that we have received in our chat box. One of them is about savings. So what kind of savings that you have seen based on your experience once a company deploys BIM? I think this question, I believe Itia addressed this earlier. Based on our observation, and since 1998, we have been deploying BIM in various organizations. Companies save about 15%. They reduce their maintenance costs minimum 15%. That's what we have seen over the years. So that will be our answer for the question. And another question that we have received, I think it is for you especially, can we use a mobile app for BIM?
Yeah, so our products, we can access them via the website link, just like I did before, but we also offer mobile applications both for Android and iOS, which means, you can have your team working with iPads or phones and directly request maintenance operations from it. And one of the very useful features, if you use the app, is that you can scan a barcode or a QR code present on the asset, and that way you can maybe list some specifications about that asset. You can look up some information. You can request spare parts directly, and you can easily record what you do in the system without having to go back to a computer every time you want to enter something.
Thank you, Itia. I am also checking the chat box. Questions. We have a question. So it's regarding training. How much training is required to become proficient with this program? Itia, would you like to address it in terms of the time that one needs for training? I mean, we know that there are different users in the system, but if you'd like to address.
Yeah, so what we typically do with our current customers is we train the trainer, and then that person takes care of the rest of the team. So we typically have 2-hour sessions just to get familiar with the product, and then we typically have some other sessions with the more technical aspect, because it's not just about starting to use BIM, it's also about configuring the product and making sure that the workflow and all of those background processes are aligned with your company. But in terms of end users, just with maybe 2-3 hours, you can start using BIM. It's very simple. You saw it within, during the webinar. It's a very easy to use product, and there is nothing outside, that you have to learn. Everything is right there. You see, you want to add something. Okay, there is a button for adding maybe a work request. You want to create a report. Well, the report creation is always the same for all the assets or all the modules, sorry. So whenever you master one of the modules, you typically know what to expect for the rest of them. So it's more just about learning what you can do with a product, and just like that, basically.
Thank you, Ihtiyar. I'm also checking the chat box again. I see no other questions, so I think we can end our webinar. Well, I would like to thank for your interest, and thank you for joining us for this webinar to talk about maintenance management with Beam and how to save with Beam by deploying it. Thank you very much, and we are looking forward to seeing you in our future webinars. Make sure to join us and sign up, and looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.